It is key, it's vital, it's important, it's an integral part of our existence. It is called information. Thank you so very much that you join us for King's Local Daily on King's 88.5, your radio vendor, on this 9th day of October 2025, wherever you are. Let's have a wonderful info time together. I'm Sam Andrews. These are the papers with your radio vendor, Kings 88.5, the Doyen Daily Observer, Be in Profile Daily, Liberia's most analytical newspaper, The Analyst, The News, The Pioneer News since 1989, Doyen as The Analyst, Oracle News Daily, reporting the truth to you, The Doyen Inquirer newspaper, and The Authoritative Heritage. These are the papers with your radio vendor, Kings 88.5. If you don't know and you need to know, we are transmitting from Central Moravia, situated between Randa and Front Streets, adjacent the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation. We begin with the Daily Observer newspaper. Lead story: Ex-Speaker Kofa orders hope dashed as Supreme Court rejects request to trash call log evidence. That's the lead story of the Daily Observer newspaper. Ex-Speaker Kofa orders hope dashed as Supreme Court rejects request to trash call log evidence. And they are all on the front page. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, Representatives Dixon Sibo, Abu Kamara, and Jacob Deby, all accused by the Unity Party government of planning and executing the burning partially of the Capitol building. Hence, they are guilty and must all go to jail. The footnote story: Liberia's aviation safety under review as Speaker Kong leads urgent tour of RIA. Political will essential to curbing illicit financial flows. Former SA President Thabo Mbeki tells African Conference. High level a report delegation to meet Bwaka on IP initiatives. The back page of the Daily Observer newspaper. Speaker Rachel N. Kong towards Rabat International Airport. The Daily Observer newspaper. A pioneer, Doyen newspaper, been on the newsstand for rack of ages, clear for men, surviving all the odds, temptations. You want to get a copy, credible, for just 40, no more, no less than 40 Liberian dollars. So you get the full understanding, the detail of the lead story. Ex-Speaker Kofa orders hope dashed. The In-Profile Daily newspaper is next on King's Local Daily. This is the lead story. Sando brains Cummings, political dwarf. Sando brains Cummings, political dwarf. The lead story of the In-Profile Daily newspaper, and the newspaper is running a direct quote from the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, Daniel Sando, branding ANC political leader Alexander Cummings as a political dwarf. Cummings is a political dwarf whose height has created optical distortion for his untreated cataract. The paper is quoting Daniel Sando. Another quote: if you know you can drink like myself and love your bottles and cups and glass, you should not be asking an opposition leader that he drinks before going to a talk show. Lisa joins ISO AFSC SEC Sano Wabudeke in trouble. The back page of the In-Profile Daily newspaper: pastor kidnaps impregnates female member. That's the back lead of the In-Profile Daily newspaper. Pastor kidnapped impregnates female member. He's on the back page. Pastor Jenkins Johnson. Global company sue for unpaid debt. UMC releases 127 pre-trial detainees. Housing sector faces constraints. The In-Profile Daily newspaper, like the Daily Observer newspaper, is out for 40 Liberian dollars. Only 40, no more, no less. These papers are reasonable in Liberia. Out of Liberia, they are expensive. You want to get a copy, please, from any one of the vendors near you. Just request the In-Profile Daily newspaper. If you are unable because of your schedule, your workload, your office basic activities, or just can access any one of the vendors because of your location, then we have done that. Your radio vendor, Kings 88.5, has brought the paper to you. It's only 40 from the vendor and technology from us. "11 minutes after 11, you're watching and listening King's Local Daily on Kings 88.5. Today is Thursday, the 9th day of October 2025. Next up, Liberia's most analytical newspaper, The Analyst. Reckless, baseless. That's the lead story of The Analyst newspaper. Reckless, baseless. ANC doubles down on Mikyat, accuses GOL of failing Liberians. The paper is quoting or running the reaction of ANC to Daniel Sando and Jeremy Pia, ministers of information, referring to Alexander Cummings as short as dwarf. and one who drinks liquor a lot before moving on. Baseless, reckless, baseless. ANC doubles down on Mikyat, accuses GOL of failing Liberians. That's the lead story of The Analyst newspaper. The footnote story: Liberia ramps up campaign for IMO Council re-election. Permanent Representative Robert Kwade makes strategic rounds. Ability calls for change in Liberia. Ability calls for change in Liberia tells diaspora Liberians, we are prepared. We need your support. That's the political leader of CMC, Citizens Movement for Change, Representative Musa Ability. The back page of The Analyst newspaper. Panic, outrage over Eric Duayenen's mysterious death. Panic, outrage over Eric Duayenen's mysterious death. Told that seeks expeditious justice for slain member. Other stories, the back page. Free at last. 127 pre-trial detainees set free on UMC intervention. PUL on media capacity building tour in Southeast joins CDO in training journalists of Sino County. PUL is the press union of Liberia, headed by the visionary Tug and Do, Julius Kanumba. The Analyst, one of the Doyen newspapers too, been around for forever, credible, reliable. You want to do business with them, out for only 40, no more, no less, 40 Liberian dollars. The news, the nation's news since 1989. A Doyen newspaper, they too been around for rack of ages, surviving all of the odds, resisting the temptations of all kinds, standing strong and tall on the newsstand. The news, the nation's news since 1989. Credible, reliable newspaper. Next up. This is the lead story of the newspaper. Protest at ELWA hospital halted. Health Minister reassures aggrieved workers. Protest at ELWA hospital halted as Minister reassures aggrieved workers. The paper is running the protesting scenes and the meeting to halt the protest. The sub-lead story, Cross-Border Resilience Project assess. MOH calls for early eye checks. The back page. Media practitioners urged to strengthen skills. That's the back lead of the newspaper. Media practitioners urged to strengthen skills. Foreign Ministry workers debunk propaganda, assert sweeping reforms under Minister Sarah Beslow Yanti. Board to regulate architects established. PUL, Moroccan embassy first partnership. Rice Network kicks off CONFAP, that's Conference Vehicles Commission for LDEA Operations. The news, the nation's news is out too this morning and this day for 40 Liberian dollars. Get a copy from any one of the vendors. If you haven't yet, please do. If you are unable, then your radio vendor, Kings 88.5, has brought it to you technologically. Minutes after 11 o'clock. Good morning to you wherever you are watching and listening from. This is Kings Local Daily, Kings 88.5. The Oracle News Daily, reporting the truth to you. Lead story. 150,000 hectares lost to cocoa farming. 150,000 hectares lost to cocoa farming. New investigation documents accelerating forest loss in Liberia's southeastern border regions, where Ivorian farmers have migrated to establish new. That's the lead story of the Oracle News Daily. Other stories: journalists urged to gain skills in specialized reporting. PUL President Julius Kanumba emphasizes the importance of public interest in interest journalism, particularly in critical domains such as sustainable natural resource management. UMU Rights Department secures release of 127 pre-trial detainees. UMU is the United Methodist Church and the group United Methodist Human Rights Monitor. The back page of the Oracle News Daily. As on trial, defense suffered setback as Supreme Court Justice declines to suppress evidence. That's the back lead of the Oracle News Daily newspaper. As on trial, defense suffers setback as Supreme Court Justice declines to suppress evidence. The sub-lead story back page: enhancing journalism and media capacity in Liberia. PUL seeks aid in digital innovation and professional development. The saying of PUL President Julius Kanumba with the ambassador of Morocco and his officials on the back page. The Oracle News Daily is out for 40 Liberian dollars. No more, no less. Reasonable. Get a copy, please, from any one of the vendors so that you have a full understanding of the lead story. 150,000 hectares lost to cocoa farming. "22 minutes after 11. Today is Thursday, the 9th day of October 2025. The Doyen Inquirer newspaper is next up. Lead story: our bodies belong to us. Bowie demands action on SRHR. Our bodies belong to us. Bowie demands action on SRHR. That's former Nobel Peace Laureate Lema Bowie on sexual and reproductive health and rights conference, urging women to protect, uphold their bodies, saying, our bodies belong to us. Bowie demands action on SRHR. No disrespect to the women in Liberia, but this is what most of them are known for. Just to go and address conference so that they will be cheered on. The little girl, 14-year-old, allegedly raped by Joseph Yuma Boaka, Minister of Youth and Sports. They got no time to say anything to that. They all mute themselves, yet they are calling on ladies to protect their bodies. What an irony. The footnote or other stories, the front page. Newly appointed Slovak Honorary Consul General Jetty visits Liberia's foreign ministry. Don't commercialize the court. Chief Justice warns magistrate. The back page of the Doyen Inquirer newspaper. Montserrato gets 3 more the magisterial court. Montserrato gets 3 more the magisterial court. Unknown men discovered dead in Maryland. The footnote story, back page. Unknown men discovered dead in Maryland. The Inquirer newspaper is out for 40, only 40, no more, no less. 25 minutes after 11, the last but not the least, and then we are out. The authoritative Heritage newspaper. This is the lead story of the Heritage newspaper. Liberia intensifies IMO Council re-election campaign. It carries the saying of Liberia's permanent representative to the IMO, that's the International Migration Organization, Robert Pare, and officials of the United Nations. Liberia intensifies IMO Council re-election campaign. Still the front page, lawmakers 2023 rejection on ArcelorMittal still stands. Lawmakers 2023 rejection on ArcelorMittal still stands. The regime speaker, Richie Cohn, and regime pro tem, Yomblikanga Lawrence, are all on the front page. Supreme Court fall off Kofa's arson appeal. Supreme Court falls off Kofa arson appeal, sends it back to the lower court to proceed. Well, if you don't know, if you need any sign, you will not get any sign apart from what God has already said. That case is purely political. The Chief Justice and everybody on that bench, they are at the whims and caprice of the political patron. Anything he wants, it happens. The Supreme Court would never ever go independent on anything once it is against the opposition. Forget it. Not a surprise that the Supreme Court threw it back. Even in our layman understanding, we know there is no substance, no worth. But people who have been in the legal business for rack of ages say it has substance. So George Roosevelt Willie should proceed. That's the kind of justice system you have under the Unity Party government. And we have a patronage political culture. What the president wants happen. What he doesn't want will not happen. The back page is all IMO. Liberia's fight for a re-election. That's it. The authoritative heritage is up for only 40 Liberian dollars. You go up your countdown, as we say in Liberian term. That Capitol building arson case is purely political. Don't worry. It done. The goal of Unity Party is to get all those guys in jail. They know they exonerated themselves. They did it in King George. The police carried out a number of killings. The police went in to do their own investigation and exonerated themselves. They know what happened at that Capitol building. They cannot call in the police and all of those people who were there. Yet they claim that Kofa and his guys mastermind the plan it and they executed it. The Solicitor General will boast that they have sufficient evidence, overwhelming evidence. And now you see what is happening. When you hear the Solicitor General saying we will win the case, we get overwhelming evidence, it means they have the backing of the court. You send it to the Supreme Court will send it back because the court is political. Once the president wants it, it has to happen. Kofa, it takes God. Only God now. I expect that you people too, as much as you people have the legal knowledge to counter too, but you can never, ever succeed in anything without God. Prayer is needed. God's intervention is needed. This whole Capitol building arson case is a foregone conclusion. Foregone conclusion means it's just a matter of time before they go to jail. But it's finished. It's done with. Unity Party has resolved. The president has resolved that these guys burn it and these guys will go to jail. Once they are from the opposition, they are from CDC, they are connected to George Weah. That's the culture that we're in. I see you. The news is on at 12. Join us for it. And then on tomorrow, King's Local Daily returns. That's all the time we've got. I'm Sam Andrews.